Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day, good moment to you wherever you are on this sweet, wild, sacred earth. I'm Julie Ling, and this is the Voice of Wonder. Thank you for joining me. Today, I invite you to drop in to a place of acceptance and surrender. I invite you to notice the breath breathing you, how it moves through you, moving in like a wave coming up on shore and receding like a wave going back out to sea. Notice how there's nothing you need to do, nothing you need to intend, nothing to push, nothing to force, nothing to judge. It simply is. The breath is the is, coming and going, breathing you in with life and breathing out what no longer serves. Notice the rhythm of it as it comes and goes, breathing in oxygen, releasing carbon dioxide. And noticing that if there are any trees around you, that you're breathing in their oxygen and breathing out your carbon dioxide that they breathe in. It is a dance. And what is nourishing to one is what's let go of in the other. And what's let go of in the other is nourishing to the one. It's all part of a dance. The rising and the falling. The breathing in and the breathing out. The receiving and the letting go. If we do not let go, there is no capacity to receive in the next breath and the next moment. And I invite you to let your breath have its way with you, to let go of any need to control or monitor or intend it, to simply be a witness to your own breath. Noticing, witnessing. Can you drop in a little more deeply to just be aware of how it moves inside of you, rising up and letting go? Noticing the uniqueness of your own tide and your own tide in this moment. And I invite you to remember or to notice for the first time that the breath rises and falls. Your lungs expand and they contract. You would not be alive if your lungs did not expand and contract. You would not be alive if your heart did not expand and contract. Birds would never fly if their wings did not expand and contract. We open and we close, and we open and we close like sunflowers open and turn their gaze, their heads, their faces in the direction of the sun, and then rest. There are flowers, California poppies, open in the sunlight and close up when it is gray. This opening and closing is a part of all of nature, and your nature and my nature, and yet so many of us have learned that we should be ever-ready bunnies, always on, always going, going, going. And notice your breath. It is not always inhaling. It's not always exhaling. The breath comes and goes. I invite you to let it have its way with you. And noticing how, as the breath has its way with you, something in you softens and relaxes and eases. It feels sweet to let go of control for just a moment or two. Noticing how that ease softens things within you, how you settle like a leaf to the ground, or flower blossom that is spent falls to the earth. There's an ease here, a relaxation here, dropping in, settling into that, feeling as your awareness, your energy, as the breath has its way with you, rising and falling, that you settle a little more deeply into your body, feeling the energy in your heart, noticing as you settle a little more into your belly and letting it go, poochie soft, feeling as you settle a little more into the sweet singing bowl of your hips. And maybe something you've been holding on to just lets go and it flows like a trickle of water. This energy just releasing down your legs and into the earth, just resting, letting go of something you didn't even know you'd been holding on to, noticing how it just releases like the breath and flows away. And perhaps you're noticing something that some part of you is held tight like a fist. Sometimes the hardest things to let go of are the things we don't like about ourselves. A judgment that came up, a wishing for ourselves, someone else to be different, and especially for ourselves to be different. Oh, not liking this piece about yourself. And noticing that hand tight. And noticing as the breath rises, the hand opens just a tiny bit, and the breath falls. It opens a tiny bit more. The breath rises a tiny bit, and the hand opens like a flower. The breath falls, the hand opens a little bit more. Simply watching this fist that you held without knowing it, opening and blooming like a flower. noticing how this hand is opened, whether physically or energetically or just a sense of it. How that judgment that was held inside, just like a tiny piece of tissue paper that was placed on some altar somewhere, is lifted by the wind of your breath and carried away. It simply floats, drifts away. This thing you'd held so tightly, drifting on the breath. And noticing a little bit greater ease. How maybe you're swaying too, as I am, as I speak the words, or they speak me, letting the breath breathe me and the breath breathe you, noticing how easy it is to let the breath have its way with you. The flow in and the flow out, the permission to receive and to let go, the permission to trust just a little bit that the breath can come and go, and maybe other things can come and go in your life. Maybe they'll, like the poem, talk of Michelangelo. Who knows? Just feeling this ease, this movement, the tune and fall, the rise and fall of your breath, the opening and closing of your heart as it beats. And maybe inside of you, now there are wings that can open and close. And some part of you weren't even aware of takes flight. And I invite you, as you move through this day, or maybe even allow the day to move through you like the breath. Oh, here's the next thing that's easy to do, and let it come and let it go, arise and fall away like the breath in my life. Oh, here's this thing to meet and hold, and now its time has passed and I will let it go like the breath. I invite you into the possibility today of a little bit more ease, a little bit more grace, a little bit more flow, a little bit more possibility that your breath could have its way with you, that life could have its way with you, that ease and grace and flow could have their way with you and you with them. And maybe there will be a little more joy, a little more light, a little more grace. That is my desire and my wish and my blessing for you today, that there be a little more ebb and flow, that you receive easily and let go easily. The breath rises and falls in you like the sacred thing that it is, that you let it have its way with you, and grace have its way with you, and love have its way with you. And that today, just a little bit more or a lot bit more, you find yourself smiling for no reason. You notice wings inside of you beating that you didn't know were there. This day is the only day. May you be in it. I'm Julie Ling. Today, may you notice all by itself how your heart sings.